What's up? Happy New Year, everybody. It's the Gorilla Underground. My apologies for not going live last night, but I'm here today. Hope everybody's doing well. The War on Reality Report. It's the Gorilla Underground. My name is Billy Ray Valentine. You guys know the deal. John Brissom riding shotgun with me today. So, listen, Venezuela is officially a colony of the United States government. There's no other way to explain this. There's no other way to go about this. Donald Trump has said that he is in charge of Venezuela. He said this. They asked him, he was like, who's in charge of Venezuela? He said, me. Yeah, I am in charge of Venezuela. And everything that happened, right? We knew this was going to happen for some time. Of course, the timing is perfect for the Epstein cover-up. We will talk a little bit about that. But we knew it was only a matter of time. I thought they were going to kill this guy. They didn't. They arrested him and brought him back here. I feel like Maduro's government sold him out. I think Rubio apparently was in contact with the vice president who is now running the country. And they cut a deal, in my opinion. I mean, I don't have any hardcore proof for this, but I think they cut a deal and they were like, yeah, take him. We'll handle this. There's no real change in Venezuela for those people that are happy that Maduro is gone. I get it. I understand. But is there any real change given what we've seen, what's going on right now? They're leaving the rest of the government intact. They're like, you guys take over, right? While Trump is sitting at the top of the pyramid, just dictating what's going to go down. So I don't know what happens to the Venezuelan people. We're going to have to wait and see. He wants, or reports are going around that Trump had contacted several oil giants to move in, to come with them and say, hey, listen, he pretty much gave them a heads up. Like, we're going to take over Venezuela. You might want to invest. You may want to come in and do some work with us when it comes to oil and everything that it brings, right? Apparently, a lot of these companies are hesitant in making the move and going down there. Chevron, a few others. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. Right. But there's many different facets to this. There's the Epstein cover up, which is very real. Right now, no one's talking about Epstein. It won't go away. Epstein will come back. It will bubble up again, inevitably, because this is a part of it. We're going to play a clip of the Colombian president calling it out as such. I think that guy gets it. And then there is the oil aspect of it. Nothing has to do with the will of the people. Nothing has to do with freedom. Nothing has to do with democracy. They don't care about the Venezuelan people, just like they don't care about the people of the United States of America. This is a money grab. This is a power grab. And now, I know John has talked about this for quite some time. We've covered it on America Unplugged, and we covered it here on the Gorilla Underground. Greenland has surfaced again. This is not going away. Right? Now, Donald Trump, I mean, for those of you out there that had said that he was joking, it was a joke. Greenland is a joke. Canada being the 51st state is a joke. All of this stuff is a joke. Well, they just took over a sovereign country, kicked out their leader. And Donald Trump is running it, and either Stephen Miller or Marco Rubio have been designated to be the point person for Colombia. One of the two. So he is Trump is not only the president of the United States of America, but he is also the leader and the person in charge of Venezuela. And whomever the face of the leadership in Venezuela will be, as far as Venezuelan personnel, they will be puppets of the United States of America under Donald Trump. Full stop. That country is a colony of the United States at this point, and he doesn't want to stop there. Talked about Cuba. Listen. We can debate Greenland, we can debate Canada, but Cuba is happening. Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. And they're also talking Mexico. And Trump and Sheinbaum apparently have a good relationship, but that's not going to matter. He says that Sheinbaum isn't running Mexico, it is the cartels. And we need to move in there on that premise. You know, it's a war against drugs, is a war against drug lords and drug traffickers smuggling drugs into the United States. But you pardon the former president of Honduras, who was guilty of all those things. This has nothing to do with drugs and everything to do with Trump style American imperialism, channeling back the Monroe Doctrine. The United States has had a history of doing, all of the history of the United States is riddled with imperialism and taking over land that didn't belong to the United States. That's what it is. And Trump is carrying on that tradition. A little more ruthlessly, it looks like, or more transparently, maybe is the word we need to use. John Brissom is here. Happy New Year, sir. It's the first broadcast of the year. How are you? What do you think is going on here, buddy?
Doing well, Billy. Glad to be back, brother.
Yeah, man.
Happy New Year to everyone who's listening. I guess I'll start from a parapolitical standpoint. And a lot of what I'm going to talk about is speculation. I think it's informed speculation, but it's still speculation nonetheless.
Right.
I believe that we are entering into a multipolar world order, which would also be known as the New World Order. Now, of course, biblically would be the beast system, but separate from that, if we're talking about from a parapolitical standpoint, it does appear to me that, and it's something you and I have discussed, and I can't prove it, but it does seem like that it's true, that America, Russia, and China came to the table. Yeah, and they had a discussion about, okay, you get this, I get this, you get this. And it seems to me what has happened. Now, I can't prove that. That's a true conspiracy, and I'm formulating a conspiracy theory. But it is based off of kind of an educated theory based off of the way we're looking at things, right?
Right.
So China and Russia did not come to the aid of Venezuela, did not come to the aid of Nicolas Maduro, even though that is in both of their best interests, as well as the other BRICS nations did not come to the aid as well, which would also be in their interests too. And let's us forget that a lot of Venezuelan oil was going over to India, which is no longer the case now. And so it appears to me that there was some sort of exchange that was made. Now, my best guess is that Trump gets Venezuela, Cuba, Colombia, even I didn't think Colombia had very strong Chinese, Russian, BRICS alliances, but fine. And at one time, to my knowledge, Lula was against Maduro and Venezuela joining BRICS very strongly. But if you actually read the country's statements on who's for and who's against, to further my theory, Russia just put out a very short statement that said we strongly disagree with what America did, but we understand it serves America's best interest. Right? Yeah. Now, Lula, the leader of Brazil, part of the BRICS nations, right? His statement was pretty long in denouncing it. It was more that Russia, China denounced it a little harder than Russia. You had Russia barely denouncing it. Even Kirill Dmitriev, who's part of the QAnon operation or push for the QAnon operation, special envoy to America from Russia, one of Vladimir Putin's, what do you call that? Like Alexander Dugin, advisor. Right. he said the same thing. Like, it's in America's best interest. We're not a fan of this. It's like they washed their hands at it. Well, we can't say we're okay with it, but we understand why they did it, right? And so that should be
Because they're going to turn around and do the same, John.
to
Well,
Ukraine,
they already have,
yes.
to a
To
degree.
Ukraine, yes.
Right.
But the thing is that's proof right there. It's just see how did the countries react, right? And they did nothing to stop it. And not only did they do nothing to stop it, they didn't really denounce it, and they didn't even go to the United Nations to have the United Nations do anything. So that right there proves there has to be at least that is strong circumstantial evidence of how they're behaving, that there was some backroom deal going on. And so I think the backroom deal is China gets Taiwan, maybe some African countries as well too. I don't know exactly what else they're going to get out of this. All right. Russia gets Ukraine. How much of Ukraine, I don't know, but they're going to get Ukraine. They're probably going to get Syria back. They're probably going to somehow put Bashar al-Assad back in power. All right.
Moldova's in trouble. All of those countries are in trouble when it comes to Russia if they fully move forward with this. Go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
Yes. And America is going to get its hemisphere, right? Trump's going to get control. I believe Trump's going to get control of Canada eventually. Trump's going to get control of Greenland. Trump's going to get control of Cuba. Trump's going to get control of Colombia. Now, the interesting thing about all of this is Mexico. Now, Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, is Jewish. She has very strong ties with Israel and has very strong ties with Chabad Lubavitch. Now, I just don't see her being removed and Trump gaining Mexico. Now, that could happen, okay? Because, I listen to both sides, right? So I'm in a lot of the pro-Duganist, pro-Russian, Solomon spaces on X, right? Solomon hosts it and got Khaleesi in there, and they're very pro-Dugan, very pro-Russian, and they don't like Claudia Sheinbaum. They think she's an Israeli asset. She thinks that, and there does seem to be some information of this, but that there were murders in Mexico by the cartel to put her into power. Okay, they don't like her, but they're going to defend her if they think Trump's going to remove her and strengthen America, control in the Americas. So it's a giant chessboard, and it seems to me that the way it looks like until World War III, these three nations are carving up the world that might be preparing for World War III. We might even already be in World War III. All right, so
I don't think Cuba's easier, right? We mentioned this in America Unplugged. It's the spheres of influence theory that the United States has, and they've already claimed it, and they've claimed it several times in recent days, that this is their hemisphere and they're going to do what they want with this. The Americas belong to the United States and they want everybody out, right? Quote unquote. But I don't think that's fully going to happen, regardless of that. I have to see to believe Canada. I see them going into Mexico. I don't think they're removing Scheinbaum.
Would Canada and Greenland happen if World War III popped off and we had to defend them against Russia at that point?
I mean, maybe these are all hypotheticals, right?
Well, it's all hypotheticals. Right. Anything that I've mentioned is hypothetical speculation here. We really don't know.
Greenland, given what just happened here in Venezuela, I wouldn't rule it out, right? Them going into Greenland. The thing is, Greenland is a bigger fish in the pond. Well,
if they invade Greenland and take it over, that means it's gotten real at that point. Because, I said,
that's that could trigger World War III if they move into Greenland. Okay, that's not a good deal. At the end of the day, I think Cuba's going to happen. I do think this is.
Do you think Colombia is going to happen?
No. No. I don't think Colombia is going to happen. I think he's pissed at the president in Colombia, but I don't think they're going to move in there and do that. But just the threat of it is enough.
What about destabilization of Venezuela that spills into Colombia?
Colombia already has troops amassed along the border.
That is
They
true.
They
Yes.
just did that. So I mean, anything can happen. I'm just saying the spheres of influence theory that we talked about on America Unplugged, and you and I have talked about previously, has now spilled over into the mainstream. The mainstream is openly talking about this. Maybe not on the right, but definitely on the left. They're talking about Russia, China, and the United States divvying up whatever it is, that they want. There was a report going around that Xi Jinping was talking about the reincorporation of Taiwan in recent days, saying that it is inevitable, unstoppable to unite the homeland, something like that. I can't verify whether or not it was a true quote or not, but that I'm throwing it out there to see if people want to look it up and see what develops with that. We already know Putin's intentions, unless you have blinders on. He's said it so many times, that he wants to reunite the motherland. That is his intention, So there's the calculated strikes explanation for what he's doing. I think that's all nonsense.
What about Iran?
I think they're going to go into Iran. Yeah, I think they'll do that.
Do you think Russia steps up then or not?
No. I think they have this. Everybody's going to get what they want, right? I think Russia is going to get what they want. I think China.
Russia's going to get more of Europe.
Ukraine. I mean, this is all speculative at this point. Anything can happen. I have no fucking idea. Besides what I'm telling you right now, I don't. If the United States moves into Iran, they'll just probably say, "Hey, that's a bad thing that shouldn't have happened," and do nothing about it. Which is what's going on now. Everybody's like, "Oh, we condemn this," and no one's doing anything.
Nothing.
Anything.
Literally nothing.
Nothing. They're just letting it happen.
Is this new, Billy?
No.
Like is the degree of what happened and the brazenness that what happened?
That's what's different.
Is that new?
Right. That's what's different is how bold they are in their message and in their actions. Like I said, I think it's low hanging fruit to go after Nicolas Maduro, and bring him in. If you really want to prove some shit to me or anyone else, right? Not necessarily me. Who am I? March right into Israel and go get Netanyahu. He's a war criminal, right? He's wanted.
So is Trump. So is Putin.
Right. So definitely, Trump is on the table. Why doesn't somebody march in here and take him? Right? It's the same thing. These guys all have criminal backgrounds, right? If that's the rationale for taking Maduro, right? Which we know it's bullshit. We know all of that's bullshit. Regardless, I think in the next 4 years, we will see China do some grabbing in Taiwan, man. Unfortunately.
I agree.
I think we're going to see that. And there's nobody going to do shit about it. No one is going to, including the United States of America, whomever is in power at the time, whether it be Trump or J.D. Vance, if Trump gets sick or something happens to him. J.D. Vance ain't going to do nothing about it either.
So what could trigger War 3 to you?
Man, if he moves into Greenland, it's a wrap, and you saw, I want to pull that up actually. If you could, I don't know if you have it. Maybe I'll go on. It's Katie Miller.
Yeah.
Stephen Miller's wife.
Give me a minute, I'll get it.
This picture of Greenland just covered in the red, white, and blue. And she just put this out like a week ago. And they're openly talking about Greenland again. Yeah, we're going to take we need Greenland. It's strategic. If they move in there, I think Europe will be obligated to do something about it. The only way there's no World War III is if Europe stands down and lets the United States take Greenland.
So let's talk about what happens if that happens. What if Trump just starts taking countries with the strongest military?
Well, I mean, This is stage one, right? This is
Yeah.
he's already started that. He's done it.
No,
So-
but I mean, what if it continues
Right.
with the ferocity of how it's continuing now? Like, what if this is new? What if the game has been changed?
It probably. I mean, there's a real good argument to be made for that. He did it in Venezuela. He's going to do it in Cuba. It is going to happen. If there is any certainty amongst the 5 countries that he's just threatened, because Trump in the last 24 hours has threatened freaking Cuba, Colombia, Mexico, Greenland, Denmark by default,
And Iran.
and Iran. In 24 hours, the president of peace, Nobel Peace Prize, please, has threatened all of these countries. And Cuba is the one that is squarely in their sights. Marco Rubio was instrumental in making this happen in Venezuela in order to get at Cuba. Right? He is a Cuban, and he's had a hard on for the Cuban government to fall for a long time. Now that's going to happen. What's up, John?
No, I was going to say, and it came out something that I intuitively knew, but was reported, I think, by the New York Times, that the reason why Trump didn't go with the Venezuelan opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, is because she didn't directly give him the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, he's denied that since, but I believe it.
Oh, I believe it. Come on.
I believe
Come on.
If the report was that if she would have given up the Nobel Peace Prize, she would have been president of Venezuela today. And I believe that. I believe that to a certain extent. Here's Thomas Massie. No matter how you feel about Thomas Massie, we got to give him some props here. All right, he's just coming out. He is the leader of the conservative opposition to Donald Trump and MAGA. It is Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's it. And he does not give a damn what anybody thinks. He's going to oppose this, I'm assuming, because he thinks this is all wrong. Anyway, he says it's not American oil, it's Venezuelan oil, because the theory is going around that, Trump said that's our oil. It's ours, whatever's there. Yeah, it's freaking disgusting. Here's
it's our oil now.
Well, my God.
And I want to be the dissenter of the American Plugged audience and just get this out there, something you and I fiercely debate and talk about. Thomas Massie is a John Birch Society member, a member of the DMOLA, and I really, truly believe that just like CMP Ron Paul, he is put there as a foil. He is a paper tiger. That's my opinion.
There's nothing to back that up. So it's like, at this point, I'm not a fan of Thomas Massie and his policies and what he believes. I don't think we believe in the same things, but I see these actions, and that's all I'm going by. I don't know the guy. I have no idea what's in his heart, but I see this, and I see it as pushback against Donald Trump, and it's direly needed pushback. We need that pushback, and we need it to come from conservative voices. Quote unquote conservative voices. I mean, Thomas Massie is probably a real conservative. MAGAs are not conservative. So we need that. So I see that, and I'm happy about it. I don't know where it's coming from. I
need legitimate pushback, in my opinion.
I think that's legitimate pushback, Johnny. What is more legitimate than this? You want him to punch him in the face? Like, I don't know.
No. I think it's staged. That's why I don't think it's legitimate. And
I don't subscribe to that.
And second, some people in the chat, one thing I want to mention is about Thomas Massie. If you go back and listen to his anniversary speech to John Birch Society, he says they should have dumped, and now Massie's a farmer, said they should have dumped glyphosate all over the poppy fields, poisoning the Afghan people just to get rid of them. All right. That's what he said in his speech. Mm-hmm. All right. So, I mean, he's not someone to be trusted.
Beyond that,
remember Tulsi Gabbard? Hold on, just to my point, one last thing. Remember Tulsi, and everybody thought Tulsi was our gal and everything like that. And the flip of a switch, is she our gal now? Is she denouncing this now? Has she stepped down now, Billy?
What was that, buddy? I'm sorry.
Has she stepped down now?
Who? Tulsi Gabbard? About what? What do you? I don't understand.
She hasn't denounced this. She hasn't stepped down or nothing. The moment she came into the Trump administration, she was lockstep. When
Why
people
would she
thought
step
that
down?
I mean, she won't, but I mean, a lot of people
So, I
think
mean,
that she would because they think that she has morals.
no,
Remember how many people the reason why they voted for Trump
I
is
don't understand what this has to do with anything. With Tulsi Gabbard, she sold herself out to this government.
yeah,
To
and
Trump.
I honestly truly believe that Massey's just there to be the foil for nothing ever happened, just like Ron Paul. Everybody who's a Ron Paul stan, how did Ron Paul ever move the needle on anything?
Well, I don't want to get jumbled up in this conversation, but Ron Paul has come out against Trump also. Rand Paul has been resistant against some of the Trump actions, and I commend that. I want to see more of it. I'm not going to sit and speculate about what their true intentions are. And at this point, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. We need to push back against this. And I see somebody like Thomas Massey doing what he's doing, and I commend him. I'm like, that's great. Ron Paul came out. Excellent. Let's do it. We need all of these voices to come out against this guy to turn this, because he's moving into countries and taking them over, saying that he's in charge, and he's threatened 5 other countries in the last 24 hours. Okay. And the man is unstable. He is unhinged. We need to put a stop to this. It's going to happen in Cuba. All right. We need to put a stop to Greenland, because Greenland, they don't seem to be letting this go.
And I would say, I would say one more thing to that, and one more thing that you mentioned too. People are saying in the chat, Karen asked me why report on any of this is all staged. I don't think it's all staged, but I think some things are. And second, I do want to say, most of y'all out there are pro-Russia. You know, Thomas Massey is a pro-Russian stooge, Billy, if you want to be honest, for you and I to have our issues with Massey. You know, he is, Russia Today, pushes Massey very hard. And, he has, come out for Russia against, Ukraine in the past. So again, like that, a lot of people out there, I know for you to reach out to you is yeah, he could be right about this, right? But at the same time, if he's representing Russia, of course he's going to be talking about Epstein, and of course he's going to be talking about Venezuela.
I don't believe. I think Karen had an excellent point. And she was like, why report on this?
But I don't believe it's all staged. Though. That's
right.
The thing is.
But in general, it's not even concerning you, right? It's not. Well, at least for me, it's not staged. There's a lot of real people suffering over this, but that's what's happened in the alternative media. They're like, oh, everything is staged, right? And for me, and then we'll play some clips, but for me, there's no evidence to prove that Thomas Massey is acting or he is just a stooge, a foil. That there is no evidence of that, and there's no way to prove that. And you might be right. Twisted in the chat says he agrees with you. That's fine. You guys may be right? But there's no evidence of it. So why do we waste our time speculating on something that we can't prove?
I don't know. I would look into Dave Troy's research. So I disagree with Dave Troy on certain things. Obviously, his research of Thomas Massey and being a stooge for the Kremlin, stooge for Russia. Like I definitely would check that out, Billy, if you have not checked out before. Which would make sense of why he has this voice about Epstein.
In the chat says there is evidence. There is none. There's no evidence. What? Show me. I'm more than willing to. I'm more than willing to see it. Regardless. Let me play this clip.
Could have done it, and as to this commander-in-chief, he did something people talked about doing. You just wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship that's killed priests and nuns. They've preyed on their own people. Their days are numbered. We're going to wake up one day, I hope in 26, in our backyard, we're going to have allies in these countries doing business with America, not narco-terrorist dictators killing Americans. This is a big frigging day. And everybody in the world is thinking differently than they were just a few days ago because of what you did.
Well, I mean, these people should just get on their knees immediately. It's incredible. And I mean, Lindsey Graham is a huge war hawk, but there you go, showing him talking about invading Cuba and regime change in Cuba. And the thing is, we in no way, shape, or form can anybody support this, right? We can't go into sovereign countries and change them just because we are not in favor of what they're doing in any sort of way. And Donald Trump is bulldozing through all of this. I mean, this has happened before under many, many, many presidents. But the thing, like you were alluding to initially, John, is the brazen act of it. Like, it's just so blatant that it feels different, but it's common American imperialism. At the end of the day, it's just brought to you by Donald Trump, and this guy has the potential to pop off with World War III. I remember probably close to a year ago at this point, man. It feels like it was yesterday, but when Zelensky was in the White House and Donald Trump was yelling at him along with who else was yelling at him? It was two people. Who else was yelling at him? Was it Rubio?
I think so, yeah.
JD Vance. It was JD Vance. Sorry, it was JD Vance and Trump just berating this dude, and they were like, "You're gonna start World War III," and everybody, dude, I put out a tweet, and they were like, I said, the United States is officially the bad guy here, and they're like, "Oh, how is the United States the bad guy? Zelensky's gonna start World War III." Well, Zelensky hasn't started World War III, not even close. But this guy right here is threatening World War III every day. Every freaking day. And then they talk Trump derangement syndrome. I don't know. But here we go with Cuba. They're going to go in there and they're going to have regime change. And a lot of people are going to be cool with it. They're going to want that to happen. Greenland is the funny one, man. I am afraid of Greenland. Let's play a clip of Donald Trump talking about he wants to go into Mexico and do something over there because he says they can't run their country. Credit to World Star Hip Hop for the clip.
I want to ask you because from your vice president, JD Vance, said that the message is pretty clear. The drug trafficking must stop. So was this operation a message that you're sending to Mexico, to Claudia Sheinbaum, the president there?
Well, it wasn't meant to be, and we're very friendly with her. She's a good woman, but the cartels are running Mexico. She's not running Mexico. The cartels are running Mexico. And we could be politically correct and be nice and say, oh, yes, she is. No, she's very, she's very frightened of the cartels. They're running Mexico. And I've asked her numerous times, would you like us to take out the cartels? No, Mr. President. No, please. So we have to do something because we lost. The real number is 300,000 people, in my opinion. They like to say 100,000. 100,000 is a lot of people, but the real number is 300,000 people. And we lost it to drugs, and they come in through the southern border, mostly the southern border. Plenty come in through Canada, too, by the way, in case you don't know. But they come in through the southern border, and something's going to have to be done with Mexico. Well,
there you have it, threatening Mexico. What's up, John? Thoughts?
I mean, it's par for the course. I don't think that's anything that's going to change. I think, I would say Cuba's probably well, actually, to be honest, it could be Iran next. Is there a possibility? I mean, Elon Musk tweeted out, we've entered into the singularity, right? So, I mean, is it time? Is it time for all, is our military in such coordination with Palantir and Anduril Industries and the drones and the artificial intelligence? Like, has it advanced so far to the point where they can war game all of this stuff and be able to accomplish a multi-country takedown in a matter of months? I
think they're going into Iran too. I think those are the two that are likely for this to happen. I don't know. I don't believe that they're going to take over Canada. And I don't believe that they'll remove Scheinbaum, although we may see American boots on the ground over there in Mexico.
What about the Ontario secession
bullshit.
part?
Yeah,
I don't know. S90. You might want to talk to him about that because
I don't think it has any traction. That's a niche thing until further notice. We need that to spill over and gain more traction if we're gonna talk about it in any serious way.
I don't think we're invading Canada.
Right.
That being said, though, however, if World War III popped off and Russia invades Canada, and then we're talking of a way I can envision us taking control of Canada.
What was that, buddy? You blanked out on me. I didn't hear you.
No, I would say the only way I can envision a way we take over Canada is if we're in World War III and Russia's invading Canada. We have to go in there to defend Canada.
Right.
Then I could see that happening.
Right.
That's the only time I could see. The only part I could see happening.
Yeah, I don't think they're invading Canada, but he's actively talking about it. Let me see if I can find the Greenland clip. I had it here, and damn, I had it here, but it won't play for some reason. So I want to, because he blatantly says it again.
Dustin says Canada will probably beg to join U.S. at some point. That is a possibility if their economy is as bad as they're claiming that it could possibly be. That is another possibility, Dustin, that I hold, where it could be Canada could be fractured. Canada could even be carved between Russia and America. Now I don't think so because of hemispheric dominance. I don't necessarily think that to be the case, but and I'm speculating at this point. But if I had to guess, what country is going to be next, it would be Cuba. I agree with you on that, Billy. And then I do eventually think that Greenland will happen, and I've said that for years. This,
right? Unfortunately. All right, I got a clip here. I'm going to play that, and then I'm going to try to find the Greenland clip also. Hold on for a second. And then we'll talk about Alex Jones spreading conspiracy theories also that we need to talk about. All right, here we go. Hold on.
Colombia is very sick too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
What does that mean? He's not going to be doing it very long.
He's not doing it very long. He has cocaine mills and cocaine factories. He's not going to be doing it very long.
So there will be an operation by the U.S.
It sounds good to me. And Cuba is ready to fall.
So there's gonna be an operation by the U.S. It sounds good to me. This guy was the guy that was running on No New Wars. How many times does this guy gotta lie to you? How many times? I don't understand it. The guy is, at bare minimum, covering up for pedophiles, and they still follow this dude. The delusion is incredible to me. And right now, he is taking over sovereign countries and threatening to do more. And some people are still like, yeah, this is good. This is what needs to happen.
But even with this, like how much of Venezuela do we actually control?
All
he
of
calls
it.
himself like the president. Like, do we? Like, or do we not?
What?
Like,
how don't we control that? Well, let's stop saying we, because you and I don't control shit.
Yeah, but
The American
America
government, the Trump administration controls all of Venezuela at this point, all of it. Whomever is going to take over that country, if it's the vice president, I forget her name. If she's going to be the president, she's going to report directly to Donald Trump.
How about Rodriguez, right?
Yes.
But then again, I've also heard that she the reason why she wasn't arrested was because Russia likes her, and that's the reason why she's again. If you play more the Putin Russian theory, like Dave Troy and the rest of the Atlanticists, and that's why. So. I mean, right now we're having, gunfire happening in Caracas. The Venezuelan government is claiming it's because of drones. But
Well, I
claiming
mean,
claiming it's because of drone, they're shooting down drones, So again, like I don't think it's completely in our hands yet. I think it will be if you had to ask me, but I don't think we have total dominance control over it completely yet.
I don't see how we don't have total dominance and control over that country after what just happened. They walked up in there and in a couple of hours overthrew the government, brought Maduro to New York City. I mean, damn. I mean, they either lay down or they're ridiculously incompetent. One of the two.
They obviously sold him out, man. There's no other explanation.
In my opinion, he was sold out by the vice president there. I don't know her name.
You're talking about Delcy Rodriguez,
right? Delcy Rodriguez openly. Reports are all over the place that she was having conversations with Marco Rubio leading up to all of this.
Correct. Yeah.
So what the hell am I supposed to think if my vice president is having conversations with the Americans? Then they carry me out of there in a Nike jumpsuit with my wife, and she takes over the country. Not the Nobel Peace Prize winning revolutionary that was supposed to take over the country. That dedicated her Nobel Peace Prize to Donald Trump, that supposedly won the election there, right? She endorsed some other dude or whatever, and that person won the election. Regardless, it's a whole mess that I'm learning about right now. They're talking about that Nicolas Maduro was an illegitimate ruler, an illegitimate, and if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black about illegitimate rulers in this country, a felon gets into the White House, but a felon can't flip burgers at McDonald's. I mean, it's incredible. And then Netanyahu's all for it. When you're a freaking war criminal, then they should go get you. The hypocrisy of this is incredible to me. But here he just threatened Colombia, saying that he's all good about an operation going like willy-nilly.
Let's just do it.
These are your tax dollars, by the way. He was supposed to be saving us so much money.
But have you ever heard a president speak like this?
No, never. The decorum is gone. It's gone.
So the illusion of pomp and circumstance is done.
It's over. And he did this. He degraded. He has effectively degraded our culture. Degraded our day-to-day language. Degraded our decorum. He's degraded all of it. We are not advancing as a society here. We're regressing. And yes, that's exactly what's happened in my opinion. Can I continue playing this clip? Let me see who's out here. Let me talk to some of the people. Karen Carpenter's in the chat. How are you? Dustin is in the chat. What's going on? How are you? Who else is here? Twisted is here. What's up, buddy? How are you? Trent Lane is in the chat. Promises made, promises broken. Absolutely. What else we got? PW Hustle. What's up, Track? How you doing, man?
What's up, H-Truck Brown? Hope you're doing well, brother.
Doom's Dungeon, who said he had some proof. I'm gonna go back and see it that Thomas Massey is playing a role, which was what we were discussing.
I just want you to look at Dave Troy's evidence when you get a chance. That's all. That he's a Russian stooge. That's all I want you to look at, Billy.
There is no evidence of this. There is none. There's speculation that people are trying to fuel because of their already because of their beliefs, because of what they're already predisposed to believe, and they want to mold everything to fit their worldview. Until any legitimate evidence comes out of this, I'm out. There's no even reason to talk about it, in my opinion. This ain't Texas. What's going on? How are you? Thank you for being here. What else we got? I think it's repeat offenders over and over again. I saw Colin in the chat as well. How are you, Colin?
So let me ask you this, Billy, about
what's
NATO.
What's up, Angry Tiger? How are you, buddy? What's going on?
About Greenland.
Yeah.
The destruction of NATO. Who does that benefit? If they dissolve NATO, the dissolution of NATO. Who would that benefit?
Russia, I guess.
Okay, and Thomas Massey put a bill into Congress to break off America from NATO.
I'm not having this conversation, John. This is delegitimizing what we're talking about here. To speculate in we can speculate all day about it. Let's do a different show.
Okay.
And speculate about Thomas Massey. I think what he is doing now, regardless of what he believes in his heart, he's coming out against this, and this is the only thing I can go by, and I welcome it, and I promote it, and I condone it 100%. In my opinion, where I am sitting, we need that shit, and he is doing it, and I'm with it. All right, that's all I can. I can't sit here and be like, well, he's making all of this up because he's a tool of. And how am I supposed to begin to justify that? You know, that's us creating a narrative that we can't prove at the end of the day. Hold on.
By the U.S. and
It sounds good to me. And Cuba is ready to fall. You know,
Yes.
Cuba looks like it's ready to fall. I don't know if they can hold out. But Cuba now has no income. They got all of their income from Venezuela, from the Venezuelan oil. They're not getting any of it. And Cuba literally is ready to fall. And you have a lot of great Cuban Americans that are going to be very happy about this.
are you considering U.S. action in Cuba?
We're not. I think it's just going to fall. I don't think we need any action. It looks like it's going down. It's going down for the count. You ever watch a fight?
Yeah.
They go down for the count. And Cuba looks like it's going down. By the way, you have to do something with Mexico. Mexico.
There he was talking about Cuba. He says I think we don't need any action, but they asked Marco Rubio about it, and he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, we're going in there. You know, he's like, it's no fan. It's no secret that we're no fans of Cuba and the Cuban government. He said. So there's that. And now he's talking about Mexico. Let's go back. Hold on.
With Mexico. Mexico has to get their act together because they're pouring through Mexico, and we're going to have to do something. We'd love Mexico to do it. They're capable of doing it, but unfortunately, the cartels are very strong in Mexico. We need Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland.
So that's Mexico. So what do we got here? Just in this clip alone, Colombia, Cuba, Greenland. It's amazing. My gosh. Hold on.
Is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security.
All right, pause this real quick.
He's not going to be able to do it, I can tell you.
Go ahead, buddy.
What if we do get into World War III, and what if it is America versus Russia and China? What if it's Donald Trump and NATO? Now, what if this does happen? Because it's a possibility. You can't rule this out, all right? What if it truly is Donald Trump and NATO versus Russia and China and the BRICS nations, and that ends up being World War III? Who would you side with then?
I mean, we all lose at that point. I don't want World War III to happen. I don't. In any way, shape, or form. It's I agree. I side with the people of Earth, and the civilized people of Earth, the people of Earth that choose to live righteously and respects life and the life of others, regardless of their opinions. That's who I would ultimately side with. I don't want World War III to happen. I don't care who starts it.
Who's worse, Trump or Putin?
I don't know.
That's a fair answer. I just was curious what you were going to say to that, because majority of the alternative media would say that it's Trump.
I don't.
And they would give Putin a free pass.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they're equally as bad. Maybe what's his face? Netanyahu should be in that conversation as well.
Agreed. Yes.
Of tyrants, absolute tyrants, man. So there you have it. This guy is threatening the world right now, just because there is something mentally wrong with Donald J. Trump. It is time to just admit that. This Trump derangement syndrome is like the tag conspiracy theorist, right? Everybody says, oh, it's a deflection, it's a way to deflect, right? It's the same thing with Trump derangement syndrome. It's just a way to deflect from any true criticism of this guy. This has gotten way out of control, and we still have 3 years left. Here's the president of Colombia. I want to play this, hitting it dead on the head, in my opinion, about all the stuff that's going on. This is in Spanish, but I'll translate. Fuck. Hold on.
En Colombia. Duro, sí, pero ahí está la realidad. Y para que no salga la lista, entonces nos envían acorazados a matar pescadores de esta ciudad.
Let me play it one more time.
Y amenazar al vecino, que si dictador o no. Un clan de pedófilos quiere acabar la democracia en Colombia.
He said a clan of pedophiles wants to end democracy in Colombia. 100%. 100%. He's calling it out for what it is right here. A clan of pedos. I mean, what you know, you want to talk about something that we can prove. They're at bare minimum covering up for the pedos. And he says a clan of these people want, and they're doing this. I'm paraphrasing here. They're doing this because they want to cover up for the Epstein list. Nobody seems to be talking about it. He says that they were, killing fishermen off the coast of Colombia because that's what they did. That's what Pete Hegseth did. Never produced any evidence for what they were claiming that these people were doing in the seas surrounding Colombia and Venezuela, Trinidad and Tobago. Never produced any evidence. They just killed the people. And even if they did have evidence that they were trafficking drugs, it's no reason to kill them, right? You have them stand in front of a jury and get judged that way. Judge, jury, and executioner. President of Colombia hit it right on the head, 100% in my opinion. What's up, John?
I mean, we're going to see what happens. I don't know. I mean,
what did you think of the clip?
Is it a distraction, or is it literally just, like we said, backroom deals between Russia, China, and America?
Well, it can be both. It doesn't have to be one. It can be both. The timing is incredible here. You know, they've been holding back from pulling the trigger quite some time. It's right in the middle of the Epstein dump when all people can talk about was Jeffrey Epstein. Do we know that they've pulled? We don't know for sure that they've pulled some deal, but there's a lot of circumstantial evidence that we can talk about, which you did in the initial moments of the show. So both can be true. It's about oil also. That's true also. You know, so all of these things are in play, in my opinion, and I think the president of Colombia hit it right on the head as an aspect of this. It's not the only reason, but it is a reason, in my opinion, why this stuff is going down. Epstein isn't in the headlines right now, but it will come back. I think it's inevitable for it to come back. Go ahead, buddy.
I think it will, yeah. But I don't think, it could go either way. It could lead to a lot of people changing their minds and a massive revolt, and Trump's thrown out of office or thrown out of the country, or things keep happening and escalating, World War III, etc., and nothing happens about it and people don't care.
I was going to play the Alex Jones clip, but it's not playing on my end. It is what it is. I will be back. Hold on.
We can discuss that real quick for like a minute if you don't mind.
I want to play the clip. I want people to see it. It's more impactful that way. And I don't have it. If you can dig it up. I thought I had it, but it's not playing on my end. Every time I email myself stuff from X, it doesn't work. If it's from Instagram, it does, but from X, it doesn't. Maybe it's on Alex's X. Let me look. Guard Goldsmith is still on the air, or is he not? He's not. He's gone. You know, I didn't want to overtake his show, but I didn't have enough time, so I had to go live. Otherwise, it just wasn't going to happen today. Let me look for Alex. Kill some time for me, John. Go ahead.
So one of the narratives that's going on right now currently is that Maduro has turned state's witness for the United States government. And this is even being pushed by Michael Flynn. And in doing so, he's going to blow the whistle. You know, this is, put forth by Patrick Byrne and others about 2020 voter fraud and Smartmatic voting systems in Venezuela. That finally is going to be brought to light by the American public. And that is what is being said right now. And it's also being parroted and put forth out there by Alex Jones to the masses as well too. I saw the QAnon people were up in arms about this, and were discussing it and cycling it out to the masses, and it seems to be something that's being very pushed right now. I saw that Bannon, interestingly enough, was quite upset that what happened down there in Venezuela, but he had Eric Prince on, who was smiling from ear to ear with the biggest grin I've ever seen him ever have. Because he's probably, obviously we don't have time enough to talk about it, but the original coup had Eric Prince involved in it down there in Venezuela during the Trump 1 administration. And I think he's going to be definitely involved down there as well now too, I would assume. And so, they're kind of pushing all of the 2020 voter fraud that is going to be brought out by the testimony of Nicolas Maduro to the world. Does that sum it up?
Yeah, more or less.
And you have the Department of Labor, Patriots, and Control posting. So
it's the psychological operation is strong. There's several clips here on Alex Jones. I can't find the one that I had initially, but there's a lot of Patrick Byrne talking a bunch of bullshit. My God, the amount of crap that comes out of InfoWars is incredible. Please, if you're gonna go in there, you need to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, man. If you're gonna, because otherwise you'll get wrapped up in this nonsense. Nothing but bullshit out of Alex Jones. Nothing but. I guess we can play one of them. I guess it's this entire interview with Patrick Byrne. There's a lot of clips here. One of them was talking about how it was Cuban intelligence, that it was a rescue mission. They were a rescue mission for Maduro because Maduro had the state secrets against the
correct.
Democrats.
Yep.
Shit. And this is what, and people hold on to this because they want to believe it. There's no proof of any of this. But damn, I wish I had that clip. Oh well, that's gonna have to wait. We'll
I'm trying to find something you can send out. I think this is it. Yeah.
What you got?
Here's something you can finish with.
You put it in the chat.
I will right now.
Hold on. All right. Talk for a minute while I cue this up.
All right, so this is an AI generated video, I believe, which is propaganda by the Department of Homeland Security, where it literally shows Nazis marching in the background.
Is that the one? Oh,
it is the one. Yes.
And they had this on their official feed
for Christmas. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Interlaced with Jesus, interlaced with Donald Trump as the MAGA Messiah. But yes, it's all there.
All right, let's look at this nonsense. My gosh. Here it goes.
All alone I watch the quiet train. Wonder if it's gonna snow again. Silent night. Holy night, I was was praying you'd be here with me.
Did you see it?
Christmas isn't what it used to be. Whoa. Silent night, oh yeah, holy night. If you were beside me, then I could hear angels, and I'd give you rainbows for Christmas. Somewhere far away the sleigh bells ring. I remember when we used to sing, whoa, silent night, oh yeah, holy night.
No, we all know the moon landings were fake.
Close with good night, good luck, a Merry Christmas, and God bless all of you on this good earth.
I'm kidding about the moon landings. Where I missed the
It's when it shows it in blue. It's about there roughly, yeah, maybe a little further up.
Silent night, holy night.
Coming up.
I was praying you'd be
Did I miss it? Oh, there it is.
Right there.
That's nice. That's nice.
Just put it there. Propaganda. It is what it is.
That's what we got, man. They actually managed to put Nat King Cole in there. One black person at least. That's what we've been reduced to here in this country. We have a lot of problems, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. Let's keep an eye out to see what develops here. But this man is unhinged. He is a madman, a madman of epic proportions. And he needs to be checked. He needs to be checked. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't know if anybody's gonna. Everybody's talking about it, but nobody's doing anything about it. So it is what it is. And I'm not advocating violence in any way, by the way. Just putting that out there. It's not what I mean by this.
You talk about by appropriate legal channels of the law.
Exactly. And no one's doing anything about it. All right, let's get out of here, man. Tell the people where they can find you, bro.
Yeah, you can find me. We've read the documents on YouTube. Glad to be back, Billy. To Angry Tiger in the chat, you can welcome me back, brother. I'd love to have this discussion with you, Franco. I'd love to have it. I know you and I have ideological differences. I'd love to talk about it again, brother. Anytime.
Anyway, I missed what that was about. I didn't see it in the chat. What's up, Tiger? How you doing? That's my dude. Everybody that's in the chat, thank you for hanging out with me today, man. And I will be back, Lord willing, on Sunday. We have some guests lined up. Let's see what develops. Everybody take it easy now, okay? Keep your eyes on this. This has the potential to blow. So, all right. Bye. Take it easy.
Bye, everybody.
Hold on.
Hold on.
I'm trying to end this broadcast. Hold on. Boom.